Now, as you all know, that last Wednesday, the fifth session of the trial of the first Vice President, His Excellency Machar and his co-accused was adjourned for Friday, the 3rd of October, which is today. And, to so many people who have been following this case, it looks like things are moving slowly or things are sailing smoothly on the side of the state. Hello everyone, welcome to the Concern Podcast, where we unpack political, socio-economic, and cultural stories shaping our world. I'm Emmanuel Taban, and it's another day for another session at Freedom Hall again for the trial of the first Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency Machar and his colleagues. It's a sixth session that is going to convene today at Freedom Hall for the same case. Now, before we continue with this video, if this is your first time watching on our channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Hit the subscription button, like, share. If it is worth it, if you feel it's a very interesting video, share it with your friends and your closest circle. It's a way of making this channel grow. It's a way of motivating me to make more videos. Thank you so much for those who have been supporting me. Thank you so much for those who keep liking, commenting, and sharing. I promise you I'll keep delivering back-to-back information about our country back home, about East Africa, about Africa. And if you're someone who is passionate about politics, then this is the right site for you. This is the right channel for you. Now, back to the reason of this video. Now, as you all know, that last Wednesday, the fifth session of the trial of the first Vice President, His Excellency Machar and his co-accused was adjourned for Friday, the 3rd of October, which is today. And, to so many people who have been following this case, it looks like things are moving slowly or things are sailing smoothly on the side of the state or on the side of the government. Every single decision that the courts make, every single request that is being asked by the prosecution side or the state side seems to be guaranteed or seems to be adhered to by the courts, and the court seems to always rule in favor of the state. I mean, I'm not trying to say that the court is trying to be biased by ruling. Perhaps it's just what the law demands. Maybe the prosecution team know exactly what the law says and they ask for it and the court grants them. I'm not saying the court is trying to be biased, but to so many people, of course, who have been following this case, it looks like the court is always being biased because from all the previous preliminary objections, they were all ruled in favor of the state, in favor of the prosecution team. Things to do with jurisdiction, things to do with the licensed advocates, and things to do with adjourning it to get, more evidence. It seems to be all working in favor of the state. And again, on Wednesday, when the court convenes in Freedom Hall for the fifth session, unlike the first session, which was only barred from other private media houses and allowed for SSBC, which is the government broadcasting corporation, to broadcast the case. The third, the second, the third, the fourth, the second sessions. Later on, the court ruled that all media houses should be allowed to broadcast the case at Freedom Hall for transparency. Unlike all the previous sessions, the fifth session was kind of a little bit different because all media houses were restricted from entering Freedom Hall to cover the prosecution or the trial. And that was simply because the prosecution team had made a request that because they're entering a very sensitive phase of the trial where they will be presenting their evidences and also allowing witnesses to present their statements. The prosecution team requested the panel of judges or the special court to actually ban all media houses from accessing Freedom Hall to cover or to broadcast live the prosecution. And the court ruled in their favor. The court had to ask all media houses not to be allowed to go to Freedom Hall to cover the case. I mean, a very good move for the prosecution side or for the state side. And what happened mainly on Wednesday, the 1st of October, on the 5th session of the trial, what happened mainly because the media was not allowed to enter into Freedom Hall, so many people actually did not have an idea of what took place on the 5th session. But on the 5th session, what happened mainly was that the prosecution team was given a chance to present their evidences and also to read out statements by the lead investigator, who is Basile Thomas Wani, the police commissioner, I think, for Northern Barat Kazal, who read out statements from 4 of the accused. I mean, apparently, when the likes of Paul Kang, Chol, and Gabriel Dob and Mampal Dor and Gadwich Lam were arrested, just like any other person, if you're arrested, you are supposed to write a statement. So in the initial arrest phases, these people were allowed to write their statement, and therefore the lead investigator read out the statement from all these 4 accused on Wednesday. Pok Kang Chol, Gabriel Dob Lam, Mam Paldor, and Gadwich Lam. The statement was read according to the order of the accused. That was when, or that is what happened exactly on Wednesday, 1st of October at Freedom Hall. Mainly, the prosecution team presented their evidences and read out the statement by the lead investigator from the 4 other accused according to the order of the accused list. So that was what exactly happened. And because of the magnitude of the evidence and the statements presented on that day, the prosecution team also asked the panel of judges, the special court, to adjourn the sitting on Wednesday for today, Friday the 1st, 2025, citing fatigue being experienced by the lead investigator, who has been reading out all the statements from the 4 accused. And the prosecution team said, because the lead investigator is now so tired of reading all this, they ask or request the courts to adjourn the sitting. And the courts again ruled in their favor, even when the defense team tried to detest that decision made by the courts. But the courts went ahead and ruled in favor of the state, or in favor of their prosecution team, that the courts be adjourned for Friday today, the 1st of October, the 3rd of October, 2025. And that is what happened exactly on the 1st. For those who have not been following, because simply the media houses were not allowed to access Freedom Hall. So on the 3rd, what happened was mainly the prosecution team presented their evidences, but also read out the statement by the lead investigator, statements written in the initial stages of the arrest by the accused. So what next is likely to happen on Friday, the 3rd of October, today, when the court reconvenes at Freedom Hall, is a continuation of the reading of the statement from the remaining 4 accused. Probably according to the order of the accused, the list of the accused, the first person or the principal accused person is Pok Kang Chol, who is the Minister of Petroleum, Gabriel Lam, who is a business person and a member of parliament in the names of Mampal Dor, and the chief of staff, who is Gadwich Lam. And then the 5th person is, of course, Dr. Machar. He is sitting 5th on the list of the accused. So, because the prosecutors were following the order of the list, so the 4 first accused, their statements were read on Wednesday. So probably tomorrow or today, we are going to see a statement of the first Vice President, Dr. Machar, be read out by the lead investigator when the court reconvenes or when the court restarts. And to some people, they assume that this court case is becoming endless. It's becoming, I mean, it's carrying on. I mean, it's getting adjourned and taking very long time. Of course, I think due to the magnitude of this case, don't expect this case to just be a 1 week or a one month case. Probably it might take us months, because after the presentation of all the evidences, I mean, we will have a kind of cross-examination questions, and we will have a statement also. The likes of the accused are going to present their statement. They are going to speak, and the courts need some time to go and compare all the evidences against the laws of the country. They need to read out. They need to compare if these charges made against the accused really qualifies to be under the framed charges. You know, the courts need to read and compare that. So this probably is not going to be just a week's thing or a month thing. It will take probably much longer than expected. So this is what we are going to expect today on Friday, the 1st at Freedom Hall, is that we are going to see a continuation of reading of a statement by the lead investigator, Basili Thomas Wane, the police commissioner for Northern Barrel, Kazaa State. He is going to continue reading the statement. He's going to start with the one from Riek Machar team. And this is what we should be expecting today on the 3rd of October 2025. And yes, as I said, that this is a very, very interesting case that has not only attracted attention from South Sudanese within South Sudan and across the world, but it is a very, very interesting case that has attracted attention of the international community. So many people, so many countries are following this case, and they're just curious of how it's gonna end. They want to badly know how this case is going to end, because it's a very decisive case for our country, South Sudan, a very decisive one. It's gonna determine the political landscape of the countries probably for the next 5 years. It's going to determine so many things about our country, and therefore it is a case of not only of national interest but international interest. Yeah, so thank you so much, and this is for today, and I remain Emmanuel Taban. And of course, if you haven't subscribed again, please hit the subscription button, like, share, comment. And if you're passionate about politics, I want to ensure you or encourage you to always be in the lookout for new videos on this channel. Until next time, I'm Emmanuel Taban, and this is the Concern Podcast.